What's up, friends? This is Katie here. If you haven't met me before, hi, I'm a mom of 2 and I am a vegan mom, so that means that I'm in the kitchen and making vegan alternatives to pretty much anything that a normal standard American eats. So with that being said, I like to create videos to help you guys have different options and different ideas on what to make if you are going plant-based yourself, or if you are already plant-based and you're just looking for some fresh ideas. So for today, I'm going to be making a pumpkin spice muffin recipe, and it's really, really good. I actually have my mom's old cookbook from back in the 60s, and this thing is like really torn up. But I'm getting some inspiration today from this book, and I'm making the muffin recipe, and I'm just altering it the way that I want to make it vegan, plant-based, and it's amazing. So this recipe is a perfect idea for a vegan, plant-based breakfast meal prep. You can make these muffins ahead of time, and you can either freeze them and thaw them out as needed, or you can just have them throughout the week if you want to just have them in like a Ziploc bag or some type airtight container. Go ahead and do that, and let's go ahead and get started. So what we will be needing for this recipe is going to be flour, which I have this unbleached flour here. I'm also going to be using oat flour, which I will show you how to make. If you want to just use all flour, you can. If you want to switch out half of the white flour with wheat flour, you can also do that. So totally up to you. It also calls for sugar. Today I'm going to be using coconut sugar, but you can use regular organic sugar if you'd like. We are going to be using baking powder. Not baking soda, but baking powder. We're gonna use salt, a cup of milk. So I'm going to be using soy milk for this. You can use any plant milk that you have on hand. We're going to be using some oil. So I'm using the Trader Joe's canola oil, and it calls for an egg. So instead of the egg, I'm going to be using some applesauce. It says to preheat the oven to 400. Bowl. I'm gonna use my Misto sprayer. This is so awesome. You can use whatever oil you want to and just pump the lid and it sprays out for you. So it's really, really cool, and it's like a low waste gadget. So I'm just gonna be oiling my muffin pan. Perfect, set that aside. I'm gonna be using 1 cup of oat flour. So for the oat flour, all you gotta do is get a high-powered blender, get your oats, pour them in the blender, stick the lid on, and turn it on and move it to high. So that's how you make oat flour. So easy, and it's just oats, blended up oats, and it's really actually healthy for you. So go ahead and give this a try if you haven't made oat flour before. So easy, there's pretty much nothing to it. So I'm going to make this, measure this out, make sure it's 1 cup, add that in. I'm also going to add in my other dry ingredients. So a 1/4 cup of sugar, so adding that in there. And just go ahead and sift that all together. As you can see, some of these ingredients are pretty chunky, so it's a good thing that we sifted it. And for that, you can just smash them in like this with your spoon to get them fine consistency. Okay, now once they're pretty much crumbs, you can just dump the rest of that in there. Give a little stir here. Okay, so we're gonna make a well in the center. So just kind of make a little hole in the center there and set this aside for a second. We're gonna get our measuring cup out, our glass liquid measuring cup. We're going to be doing the wet ingredients. So a cup of milk, soy milk in my case. Whoa. And then a 1/3 cup of salad oil is what they called it back then. So this is just canola oil. You can use melted coconut oil if you'd like to. That would totally work here, but I'm just gonna be using canola oil. And then it calls for 1 egg. So instead of the egg, today we're gonna be using applesauce. I just used 1/4 cup of applesauce instead of 1 egg. Simple, easy. And it doesn't go bad in the fridge like eggs do, like as fast. And I used to eat eggs, you guys. I totally was one to eat eggs and use them in my baking, and I would eat them for breakfast pretty much like at least 2 times a week. But we don't need eggs. I have a tofu scramble recipe that you can check out. I'm giving you options for baking egg substitutes. So as you can see, eggs don't need to exist in our diet. I'm going to just be mixing this together. These hens are treated really poorly. Oftentimes they end up dying because of depletion. They don't last very long in general. It's just a sad existence for them. And also in the egg industry, I'm going to just be pouring this in here. In the egg industry, baby male chicks are disposed of on day 1 of life. So you can kind of let your imagination take you on what kind of disposal that means. But eggs are not a cruelty-free food at all whatsoever. So just keep that in mind and use egg alternatives instead. Very simple. Okay, so we're just going to be mixing this together. It says to mix quickly and then just until the dry ingredients are moist, but do not beat and batter will be lumpy. So.
Okay, easy. That's probably even too much, but that's good.
So with this, I am going to be adding a little bit of pumpkin pie spice and some cinnamon. So I'm probably going to be adding a teaspoon or 2 of pumpkin pie spice. You can kind of eyeball it, whatever you feel, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. There we go. Mix that together so it kind of swirls in. You guys, I made these as a tester and they are really good. So take my word for it and make these. They're amazing. We ate all of ours like in 2 days. I'm gonna grab our 1/4 cup and just measure it. Pumpkin pie spice onto the tops of each of these muffins. It's gonna give them extra flavor, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of regular sugar to the top.
Each muffin is going to kind of harden and become such a sweet little muffin top. You're gonna love it.
All right, we're gonna just put this in the oven and set your timer for 20 minutes, check them, and if they're not ready, leave them in 5 more minutes. So 20 to 25 minutes on 400 degrees. So the muffins are in the oven and they are smelling the house up. It smells so good. I just wanted to give you guys a little tip on keeping your baking stuff all together. I have this little box from the dollar store and I have like all my baking goodies in here, including some applesauce packets. I just use unsweetened, unflavored applesauce, but this is such a good way to just make it easy on yourself and just put your sugar and all of your baking stuff together so that it's easy and quick when you want to whip something up. Okay, they're ready and time for a taste test. Perfectly fluffy. A little bit crispy on the top from the sugar and the spice. So good. You guys can use these as breakfast muffins because it has oats in them. If you're a breastfeeding mom, oats are really good for milk production, so keep that in mind. And these would be really good with Miyoko's butter on top of them, so that would be amazing. Or you could make a icing drizzle for the top with some powdered sugar and a little bit of plant milk mixed together and drizzle that on top. That would be amazing. Actually, I might do that. So good. Okay, so talking about the icing drizzle really made me want an icing drizzle, so I'm going to make one and I'll show you what I make it with and how. I'm gonna add some pumpkin pie spice to go along with the flavor of the season. I would say 2 teaspoons is enough for that. And then I'm gonna be adding some plant milk. Now this dissolves very quickly, as you can kind of see right here. So only add a tiny bit of milk at one time, like a tablespoon tablespoon of milk to start and just give it a whisk. If you have the patience and time, you can sift the powdered sugar first because it's a little bit lumpy, not too bad. You can kind of sift through it. So you can see this is really a good consistency. It's really good. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of vanilla, like just a splash of vanilla. Okay, mix that up. There we have a pumpkin spice drizzle for our muffins. I'm gonna take my little ceramic ladle spoon and drizzle it over.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be amazing. It is sweet drizzle. Do you want some? Okay, so this actually is made quite a bit. You can probably do half of that amount, so like.
Let's try it with the drizzle. Oh yeah, definitely tastes like the holidays. You guys can make these for Thanksgiving as like one of your desserts or Christmas. It's amazing. So please let me know if you guys try it, and leave me a comment below if you would like to see more videos like this or what kind of videos you would like to see, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!